Welcome back to Radio Shack. As you know, in the last video we celebrated the 20th anniversary of Power Rangers in Space, it being one of the 3 seasons celebrating their own anniversaries within Power Rangers itself. And this video is the 15th anniversary of Power Rangers Ninja Storm. Power Rangers Ninja Storm is one of my favorite seasons of all time. It is in my top 10 seasons of Power Rangers. We can discuss about that later. But yeah, this is really one of the fun seasons of Power Rangers. It really differentiated itself from the seasons that came before, the more serious ones, and really brought the fun back to Power Rangers, you know. I mean, can we just talk about that theme song for a second? I mean, as soon as that theme song hits, I mean, I know we had the little introduction and the story right before that theme song hits, but when that theme song hits, you just hit with so much energy and you're ready for the episode to start. I mean, this season is bringing the fun back to Power Rangers, and it even has great comedy, but also has great story arcs for the characters. And speaking of the characters, when you talk about the characters of this season, it really shows the journey of these kids becoming more mature as we see them from the beginning to the end. I mean, starting with Shane, Tori, and Dustin, when you look at them, they don't really come off as Power Ranger material, but they still are good people as we see them in the beginning of the first episode. And I mean, Shane being the first Samoan Red Ranger, Shane is one of my favorite Red Rangers. He really shows that he is built for this, you know, and he is a good leader in his own right. Tori is so mature. I mean, being the only female on this team, the first only female a part of a Power Ranger team, which is great, and her character is so great throughout the season. It is consistent, and you gotta love Dustin. You love Dustin no matter what, because he's pretty much us in this season. And when we think about the Thunder Rangers, the Bradley brothers, so Blake and Hunter, you really believe in their chemistry. You really believe that they are brothers, and it's so great. Even when they're introduced, even though to me they're introduced a little bit too early, but they have a great story arc. And seeing the difference between the Wind Rangers and the Thunder Rangers is so interesting. And who can forget Cam? Cam is the unsung hero of this season. I mean, if Cam doesn't work, this show doesn't work. I mean, Cam as a character himself, not just as a Green Samurai Ranger, but as a character himself, is the best character on the show. I mean, Cam runs ninja ops. He builds and fixes the Megazords, and is also a Ranger. This is something that a Power Ranger character has not balanced in a long time. I mean, they tried to do it with Kendall Morgan in Power Rangers Dino Charge, but it didn't really come off that well. But this was something different, you know. And Cam trying to prove that he is worthy to be a Power Ranger, even though his father, aka Sensei, does not want to put him in danger, is pretty much the promise that he made to his mother. But Cam, as a character and as a Ranger, is the best thing about the show. And going back to the Megazords I think are some of the coolest designed Megazords in Power Rangers history. And not only that, the way they combine together, they just look awesome. They really do. And something I really liked about the season was the Storm Megazords lightning mode. That was something mind-blowing and so cool at the same time. I mean, I wish there was more Megazords able to do things like that. And we can't forget the villain of the season, Thor, who is not the best villain of the Power Ranger series, but is still memorable. I mean, finding out that he is the brother of Sensei, even though we didn't dwell deep into that, but was still a great reveal. And not only that, you love seeing Lothar every time he pops up on the screen. He's funny, you know, and he gets really meta sometimes. And the general battle between his generals is one of the great things about this season as well. Now, even though this season was really based on fun and the comedy, it still has its serious moments. It really balanced that really well. I mean, some of the stories that pop out to you, just like I said before, Thunder Strangers, when the Thunder Rangers are introduced, their story arc was good, even though I felt like they were introduced a little bit too early. Samurai's Journey is probably the best story of the season, of Cam going back in time to get this power to help out the Rangers, and proving that he is Ranger worthy when he goes back and gets the Samurai Amulet. And not only that, Shane's Karma. Shane's Karma is also a great story arc. I can never pronounce his name, but the actor who plays Shane, this was his best acting of the whole entire season. And seeing how he earned his Battleizer. And speaking of the Battleizer, this is without a doubt one of my favorite Battleizers. It is very, very nicely designed, by the way. And introducing Vexicus to the season, and when Vexicus was introduced in this season, that is where the series took a turn. Not saying for the better, but it took a great turn, you know, and how the story moved on with this series. Yeah, Ninja Storm is a really good season. Like I said, it's in my top 10 Power Ranger seasons of all time, and it is really one of the seasons that not a lot of people talk about. I mean, it gave us a break from the serious seasons before it. It brought a lot more fun and comedy back to Power Rangers, and really set the tone for the seasons preceding it. Yeah, Power Rangers Ninja Storm celebrating its 15th anniversary. Still mind-blowing. I mean, In Space is 20, Power Rangers itself is 25. Still, it's crazy. But what do you think about Power Rangers Ninja Storm hitting its 15th anniversary? Comment below, let's get a conversation going. And as always, if you enjoyed my thoughts, make sure you like, subscribe. My last video links to the channel below. Until the next video, I will see you later.